Beetroot, nature's powerhouse, packed with vitamins, antioxidants and nitrates, it's known to support heart health, boost stamina and improve blood circulation. Our beetroot is naturally grown and harvested at peak ripeness. The roots are cleaned, dried and finely ground to preserve their rich nutritional content, giving you all the benefits in one pure form. Add 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder to your juice, smoothie or water, or take it in capsule form as recommended by your healthcare provider. Beetroot helps enhance endurance, lower blood pressure, and keep you feeling energized and balanced all day. Fuel your body with the natural power of beetroot. Stay strong, stay healthy. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Good afternoon, family. Good evening from my end. It is 58 minutes past 8 p.m. Apologies for being late, but better late than never. Karibuni sana to everyone who's just tuning in on YouTube, Beetroot, on the radio station, on all our streaming platforms. I hope your weekend was fantastic and happy new month and wishing you a beautiful week ahead. Karibuni sana once again as we get to talk about another literally history of Black people being the original beings, and I have a couple of videos as we get to move on with today's conversation. I'd say it's a video I kind of bumped into on the chat shared by Kay Williams weeks ago. So that conversation brings me to literally the videos I'll be sharing today as we look at actually how the DNA series Black people have and the DNA series white people have, and so much onto that as we get to continue. And as we start, I'm going to start with an amazing video literally talking about how the people in power don't like, should I say critical thinkers, because it applies with critical thinkers, why the elites, let's call them the elites or the globalists, how they hate self-taught people and critical thinkers. And talk about critical thinkers, we know that this applies with how they have set up the system. Their system of education is very shitty. Their system of religion has been all about controlling, manipulating people's mentality. If you talk about the political system, it does play all the roles in the same, and so much literally. So I have this video I'm going to be starting with, but before we get into that, always a quick reminder, kindly get our application on the Google Play, so that's where you can get yourself these amazing supplements in case you're seeking any much more from. Apart from beetroot, we have moringa powder, very organic. We have CMOS, very organic turmeric gummy bears. We have literally so much more. And ensure you check also the Apparel store. Get yourself your hoodie. It's Christmas season, man. Get yourself or some friends some gift. You've been working hard throughout the whole year. At least appreciate yourself with something. A merchandise would do. We have beanies, hats, mugs, handbags, anything you'd like. Once again, Karibuni sana. My name is Joby. Let me start with this amazing video here.
The hidden war between the elite and the self-taught. Most people think this conflict between the elite and the self-taught is just envy with a fancy outfit. It's not. It's older than any university, any corporate ladder, any handshake deal behind closed doors. The real problem is simple. Self-taught people don't play by the rules the elites wrote for everyone else. And nothing annoys a rule maker more than someone who succeeds without following the rulebook. Self-taught people don't wait.
I call them critical thinkers. For me, I feel like critical thinkers applies more because, again, that's what they have ensured people won't learn. You don't have the ability to question anything or everything majorly. So, yeah, it applies with critical thinkers according to me, literally.
For permission. They don't need the stamps of approval. They don't move in the slow, predictable, polite lines that society expects. That freedom is exactly what turns them into a threat. Why independent thinkers freak out people in power? Someone who taught himself operates on instinct, curiosity, trial and error, and a healthy amount of "I'll figure it out." To the elite, that mindset feels like letting a raccoon loose in a luxury hotel. Independent thinkers break patterns. They don't respond to the same carrots and sticks everyone else does. They don't freeze up when something doesn't make sense. They just dig until it does. You can control predictable people. You can schedule predictable people. You can manage predictable people. But the guy who built his own brain outside the system, Good luck with that. The gatekeeping industry, no one admits exists. There's a whole invisible industry built around deciding who gets to be official. Degrees, licenses, certificates, associations, titles. All the things printed on fancy paper. It's not that these things are useless. They're just used as fences. And every fence has a gate. And every gate has a person standing next to it acting like a medieval guard with a clipboard. So when someone skips the whole process and still performs better, the gatekeepers get insulted because the system that made them powerful gets embarrassed. They don't hate the self-taught man. They hate the reminder that maybe the fence was never necessary. The fear of losing control. Systems need control the way cars need fuel. Without control, they can't move. So when someone shows up who can't be easily categorized, measured, sorted, or predicted, the system panics. The elite want people who follow instructions, not people who question the instructions. They want people who say, okay, not why, because why is the crack in the dam that eventually breaks the whole wall. The self-taught person doesn't mean to be a threat. He just naturally refuses to be owned. What Machiavelli would see immediately. Machiavelli understood human power better than most modern CEOs, professors, or politicians. He knew rulers feared two types of people: the ambitious insider and the talented outsider. The talented outsider is the real nightmare, because he didn't rise through favors and connections. He rose through grit, curiosity, and whatever scraps of opportunity life threw his way. You can't buy loyalty from someone who never needed your approval in the first place. And no system likes a man who isn't for sale. Why systems reward obedience, not intelligence? If you want a system to run smoothly, you don't encourage rebels. You encourage rule followers. Schools reward punctuality more than creativity. Corporations reward consistency more than courage. Governments reward dependency more than competence. Do the job. Don't rock the boat. Fill out the forms. Stay in your lane. Meanwhile, the self-taught person says, I'm going to build a better boat, and I'm not going to ask anyone for an oar. And suddenly the whole structure looks fragile. The social penalty for not playing the game. You can watch it happen in real time. Someone teaches himself photography, or coding, or carpentry, or finance. And instead of praise, he gets interrogated. Where did you study? Who trained you? What's your official qualification? Who gave you permission to know this? It's almost funny. People don't question whether the self-taught guy can do the work. They question whether he earned the right to know how. It's less about skill and more about keeping the ladder in the same hands. How the elite protect their monopoly. The elite don't protect power with force anymore. They protect it with narratives. They control which facts matter. They control which voices are credible. They control which ideas get promoted and which get misinformation stickers slapped on them. But when a self-taught person rises, he doesn't follow the official narrative. He builds his own. He learns from life, not lectures. From failure, not textbooks. From curiosity, not curriculum. And once enough people see that working, the elite lose their monopoly on truth. The self-taught advantage no one can fake. The elite can buy degrees, endorsements, assistants, consultants, connections, even reputation. They can't buy intuition. Intuition isn't taught. It's earned. Self-taught people see things differently because they weren't trained to see them the same as everyone else. They see patterns others ignore. They see shortcuts others don't approve of. They see opportunities others were taught not to look for. That natural advantage is why self-taught people keep disrupting entire industries, sometimes by accident. The trap self-taught people fall into. The biggest mistake self-taught people make is trying to win acceptance from the very groups that want to keep them out. You don't win against gatekeepers by debating them.
True.
You win by making the gate irrelevant. Trying to win their respect is like trying to impress a judge in a courtroom you were never invited to. Even if you win, they'll find a rule you broke without knowing. The solution is simple. Stop knocking on the door. Build your own place. People will follow the results. Why crisis makes the self-taught shine. When the world gets shaky, people stop caring about titles.
I think that's Bluetooth buffering, or it's my internet. Okay, that's my internet. Okay, my internet is buffering. Apologies about that. Let me see what's up. All right, but yeah, I think the message is across. Literally, critical thinking, and which actually it's a conversation that still is going on online. It's not even about the people in power, whatever, but it's literally about critical thinking. You know, where critical thinkers are dangerous people in this world. It goes back to like what the video I just shared on my show this evening, looking at Jeffrey, who's talking about how Africans are quickly getting informed, quickly demanding change and all that. But look at this too.
There seems to be a severe case of lack of like critical thinking and logic that exists online, particularly on this app. On this page, I'm always talking about news, world events, current events, and things that happen and, you know, socially. And there's something common among Gen Z and Gen Alpha that happens in the comments where they're like, source, name your source. I'm supposed to believe you, name your source. And I'm like, were you guys not taught how to research things? A big part of my childhood was the bibliography, researching things, citing sources, and making sure that what was being written about was true. You grew up in an era where you have the entire encyclopedias of the world at your fingertips. Use Google. And I think the problem is when they use Google, they still can't tell what a real peer-reviewed scientific or real media news source is.
Sure.
It's really scary. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this online, but it happens every single post.
It's not even about online. It's everywhere. There's nothing to do with online. I meet with dumb people, like, and I mean dumb, like I mean people you can't even like try have a discussion with. You know, it's crazy. You know?
And I'm like, okay, so there's no critical thinking. People aren't educated on topics. And if they want to be educated on topics, they don't know how to research said topic and know that the real news versus the actual fake news that's out. It really blew my mind because I put up an article about something that was happening in Memphis and source. And I'm like, Google. And if you don't understand what a real source is, research what a bibliography is.
What has happened to critical thinking skills? Where are the critical thinkers? What happened to critical thinking? We are in an epidemic in a desert at the moment, at least in the marketing and advertising space.
Just before I continue with that video, someone on the first comment says, they forced 90% of the population into survival mode, and people only think about getting their next meal and not getting evicted. Zero subtle overshadowing for the future.
Subtle.
Whatever. My Swahili is the first language, but of foreshadowing for the future, and most can't plan past the week, and in which breeds deep selfishness in the society, and then no progress is made. Literally.
Where I work, an absolute epidemic of critical thinking skills and curiosity and being a problem solver, being a self-starter, being outcome obsessed. What happened here? Where is the critical thinking? People are just sleepwalking through life. Certainly their jobs, and just like call it burnout or laziness or just being disillusioned with their career choices or their industry. But man, oh man, think, McFly, think. All these people, no one actually applying themselves to problems, things that are Googleable, things that just require reading a few pages of a Facebook for Business blog post to figure out the instructions. Where's the energy for it? There's not even any energy for so many people these days to even like, did you throw that in ChatGPT to see what it would say? Like that basic. We're not even talking about, vibe coding whole apps and scaling yourselves 10x or what have you. We're talking about like the basic of basic, like, what is this new ad format? Did you fucking Google it? Did you read it? Did you try it? Or is this going to work or not work? I don't know. What was the client trying to do with their business? How did this align to that?
It's starting to scare me how many people lack critical thinking skills and comprehension skills. And I didn't really realize how much of a problem this was until
Joby, is this you or Camblish? Is this you, Joby?
This is me.
Okay, let me change the one. How long you been here? I forgot all about us today. Shit. How long you been here for? A while?
15 minutes.
Okay, cool. Shit, I'm good then. Go ahead.
Put down people on TikTok. I'm just noticing that a lot of people truly are struggling to comprehend information and to develop critical thinking skills. And they get in the comment section and they say things and make assumptions that if they had critical thinking skills and comprehension skills, they wouldn't say. And it honestly scares me because it's starting to become the normal to lack these things rather than to have these things. And I think that it's creating a passive consumer, and it's making a society that's not bothering to question systems of oppression, to question ideas, to question what we watch and what we consume on television and in media. And it's a little alarming. It's a little scary.
To be the one to break this to you, but we are living through something that I call the creative compliance storm, and it's completely eroding our ability to think critically. I want to explain to you why this matters for your life right now. As background, I'm a creative health scientist, and I write a popular Substack called Creative Health, where we explore.
Maturing is realizing that majority of the population lacks critical thinking skills. I always find it so funny how.
So usually there's a debate that you can see is going on online. So because the amount of, as much as people, yes, are getting informed with everything, people don't know much. Like, people are really dumb out here, and they keep making people dumber. Like they also want a dumb society. So
of course, dumb people easy to rule, Joby. I need you critically thinking with your shit, talking about things that ain't working right. I need you like, I don't even know how things supposed to go, and it's the government's business. Don't worry about that, Joby. That's what I need you to say.
People can demonize things, call people crazy or conspiracy theorists without ever doing any sort of research. And research is not Google, because if you know, Google
exactly. Exactly. Google is the ops.
I question everything. When I am presented with information that is conflicting or that doesn't make sense, or even if it's just something that's just really interesting, I need to get to the bottom of it. I need to know who all was involved. When did this start? What was the reason? I need to know. Once I hyperfixate on something, that will be my Roman Empire for days, for weeks, for months. I will go down every rabbit hole. I will read every article. I will watch every video. I will check every source because I need to know, and it needs to make sense. Because I question things. I don't just take things for face value. Just because they said this is what it is, I gotta believe that. So when I do get to that point, when I'm speaking on something, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And it be the people who ain't do a lick of research of nothing telling you that you're wrong. Now make that make sense.
That's true.
Here are 3 signs that somebody has very low critical thinking skills as somebody who refuses to talk to people without critical thinking skills. The number 1 sign is very black and white thinking. No ability to understand nuance. This is not surprising for anybody that's been on social media for any amount of time. But if you say, the sky is blue, somebody is going to say, well, sometimes actually it's gray, so you're wrong. As if it wasn't already implied that, yeah, sometimes it can get cloudy. If you do not spoon feed every single exception and criteria to them, they are not going to get it. The second sign is that they have no idea what a reliable source is. In their mind, somebody posting a blurry screenshot on Instagram with some lie is the exact same as a primary manuscript from 1622. In fact, they don't even get why you would use a primary source like a manuscript because it's not that deep. And last but not least is the...
Yeah, but literally that's what's up. I don't want to move or dwell so much on that. Critical thinking, it needs to be reapplied. Teach your people to critically think. Please allow people to question, allow people to understand, like critical thinking, because it's so lost, it's so gone. But moving away from that, I have another video I want to share before we get into literally we'd say the same conversation. Black people being the original conversation, the original people, the Black people being the original people. And of course, this is a conversation we've had a couple of times. But like I said, I bumped into a video Kay Williams had shared weeks ago. But the video literally I went deeper to do other research, and I have other videos backed on that conversation, looking at also how we have Black people with how many DNA series they have and how many DNA series white people have, and so much on. But we have the Namibian president here. Before I get into that, she is back with another speech, and she's calling out literally the African leaders, including Kagame. Not really sure about Kagame, but calling out the African leaders who are talking about, the coups, we need to be not scared, or we need to be scared. Listen.
We cannot solve today's challenges with yesterday's mindset. We must be bold, honest, and innovative. Let us...
Jason, I disagree with you at this on that conversation. You're saying that it's no such thing as real good common sense in this dimension at all. Yes, there is, because also how will you get to the next dimension without real sense? It has everything to do with real sense. So personally, I disagree with you completely.
Let's remember the African proverb that says the canoe does not move forward if everyone is paddling their own way. Our progress as a nation depends on our ability to pull in the same direction as we have learned from our third president, Dr. Hage Godfrey Geingob, to work with mutual respect and open minds, and to recognize that the solutions we seek will come from collective efforts. One finger does not pick up a needle. Hence, collective efforts is a must for any success. The Task Force on Economic Recovery will help unlock growth, strengthen investment, support innovation, and expand opportunities for our youth. One of the task force reference points should be the post-COVID-19 economic recovery report. There's a document to that effect, and the National Planning Commission has to make it available. The Task Force on Health. A health nation is a productive nation. This committee will assist us in building a strong, more responsive health system that serves the needs of all Namibians. And I want to underline, all Namibians. The report of the 2013 on health, commissioned by His Excellency Hifikepunye Pohamba, should be the most critical reference document for the Task Force on Health. This committee was composed of individuals from different backgrounds. They went all over Namibia, and it took them not less than a year to produce that report. And to my understanding, it has looked holistically on our health system and made clear recommendation on what should be done. It is therefore my hope, and I'm asking this committee to help us, to help me to implement this report. I keep repeating, a health nation is a productive nation. If you
don't go die in India, I mean, it's really embarrassing that you've not really done anything in your country, you go die in India. It's crazy.
We want to be productive, we must ensure the health of our people. The task force on housing and land delivery will address one of our most urgent social obligations, ensuring access to dignified housing and safe land for families across the country. The way some of our people live is very deplorable, and no Namibians would want yourself to find yourself in that situation. Of recently, there's been outbreak being reported. By the good thing, they are all contained. That is what really makes me strong, but I don't want them to keep coming. If we can prevent, let us prevent them together. And these committees, these task forces will help us to address some of this. When you look at their work holistically, they are basically covering all the 7 priorities that are in NDP 6, from agriculture, sports, creative industry, youth empowerment, then housing, education, and health. These are our priority areas. And these are the economic sectors that we have to look at as part of the economic recovery of our country. Fellow Namibians, let us remember and support those let us remind ourselves and give the full support to the task forces, as this is how we can be able to make a significant contribution to the building of Namibia and to take our people out of poverty. Once again, to members of the task force, I would like to sincerely recognize your unwavering commitment to volunteer yourselves, which is aimed to improving the socio-economic condition and living standards of Namibian citizens. As a nation, once again, we extend our deepest appreciation to the members of this task force. It is our hope that your dedication, your expertise, and a steadfast commitment will play a vital role in guiding our national priorities and shaping meaningful policy intervention. Your work will strengthen our public health system, support economic resilience, and advance land delivery and housing efforts that will benefit our nations for generations to come. We are too few to be poor. We are too few to be poor. And that's why when we say we are going next year to give subsidy to our young people to have access to institutions of higher learning with concerted efforts, we are not going to feel that pressure. We just coordinate. We just need to believe on what we are doing, and we will definitely be successful. I therefore wish each one of you continued success in your endeavors. And also, maybe this will be the last day we meet until next year. Let me also wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Namibia has the best roads, one of the best roads
in Africa. She's right.
In our continent.
Best roads in Africa are in Namibia, and so they're because of the white. They're not because of you, lady, because you got white people there. They're gonna develop with white people. Right? You do got some of the best roads between you and South Africa. You do. Namibia, you go to Namibia, you think you're in the first world country again because of the white people, because of the 10 white people that are there. 10 white people in the whole country. Yeah. So yes, you do got the best roads. Some of the best roads in all of Africa. True.
And beyond. Let us really make sure that the space of our road or our roads is a space for everybody. And each one of us, we must play our parts to make sure that we prepare our vehicles properly and we are alert when we are driving. As the patron of the road to safety in Namibia, this is the season that I'm dreaming that one day will come out with significantly reduced accidents, so that the resources we are spending can be spent on issues that are common interest to us, and particularly on our economic recovery, and for us to provide quality health service to our people, and for all Namibians to have a dignified accommodation. Together,
hold on, Joey. This speech is too long. We get it. What is she talking about? Okay. Go too long with this lady's speech. It's African, we get it. Jesus. Some speeches, you go like 20 minutes with a speech, Joey. Jesus Christ, we get it, lady. We get it. Okay, you're going to do whatever. Jesus. See, the African Union says you're going to build. Okay, we get it. All right, sheesh. Start talking about whatever we're going to talk about. This 30-minute speech, my God. This speech too long. I can't take it no more. Ain't she at the African Union? I think Joey didn't use the bathroom. See, Joey put these long speeches on so she can go to the bathroom.
It's to a Black psychotherapist. I want to have a.
I'm not in the bathroom. I texted you, kid, but anyway, let me continue.
I'm joking. No, I said, well, the show's going on. You want this how you go to the bathroom. I think that's a long ass.
Texted you.
About what? What'd you text me about?
Why? Because white people, if we look at the skin color white is the genetic inability to produce color. It is a genetic deficiency state. It is a form of albinism. It has never been discussed in this way, but genetically, biologically, this is what it is. White people they don't have the capacity to produce color. They wish they could. This is why they spend a lot of time sun tanning, makeup, all of that is trying to give color to colorless skins. Okay. Now, because they have this deep psychological need, they are the only people in the world, they are the minority in the world who cannot produce color. And so they can't produce it. They can't make it on their own. They try to suntan, and then at the sexual level, They have attractions to people who can give them the illusion that they have participated in the production of color. So the white man has gone all over the entire world, having sexual relations with every group of non-white women that he meets. The white woman, when she has been allowed to, sexually aggresses towards men of color.
She is allowed to.
And so then she gives vent verbally to that fantasy. I want to have a product of color because this is the one thing that I can't do.
Okay. Just to relate on that, let me share this other page.
Copyrighted in 1996. Right. What it said is this. And this is the mind-blowing part. It said that when they tested the orangutan, they found out DNA series. They tested the gorilla. They found that the gorilla had 4 DNA series.
Chimpanzee had 5.
Okay.
And everybody else has 6.
Chimpanzee, which is an ape, and found that he had 5 DNA series. Then they went all into the different races of the world.
Exactly.
They went into Europe and tested the DNA series of the English, the French, the German, the Spanish, the Russians, and found they had 6 DNA series.
The African has 9.
Then they put all of this, what they found from around the world, on a map. And this map really is called the intelligence map of the world, because they tested 116 different human groups and found their DNA series number. All of them, all over the world, have 6.
Pause that. And that's when you know, pause that. That's when you know these people were spliced with, they're only one step up from what? These are just facts from an ape. That's why you're looking at a humanized ape. Yes, you're sleeping with a humanized ape. That's a fact of science. Not my fault. You didn't know this. This is a fact. What this black doctors tell you. It's a fact. Shout out to the little black girl, English girl on TikTok. Why is it that? Ask these questions. It's funny. But anyway, these are facts. All African people have 9 strands of genetic coding. These are facts. Not no conspiracy theory. That's why they hide it. This is all hidden knowledge. Not gonna tell you this on Google. You gotta go find all this stuff. Go ahead, Joe.
Numbers in form of a little flag that you can see on this map. These little flags have a color. And they show, oh, this is upside down. I'm sorry. Yeah. And they show that the English have only 6. All into Europe, only 6. Went over into Japan and China, and they only have 6.
Exactly.
Over into America, was a predominantly European, and they only have 6. Then they came to Africa, and they came to the part of Africa. Now, all the rest of them, they put in little flag colors.
Not the northern part.
Are orange, red.
Not the non-African and northern Africa. Those are non-African people. They have 6. The African, not the people in Africa claim to be Africans and say they were there. They are not. Those are invaders. Those people have 6. Go ahead, Joe.
But when they came to Africa, found out that the African people
have 9.
And
I believe it's 12, really.
9 DNA series. From here, just below the Shanghai Empire, down to the foot of Africa.
You're the most advanced people on the
10
planet.
nations, of which African Americans descended from one of them. We have 9 DNA series, the greatest possibility of genius. Now it's answered this age-old question. How can a people survive being told they're nothing.
Nothing. Hate.
400 years. Never allowed to learn that they came from beautiful cities and told they came from a jungle. How could a people survive? How can a people become champions in everything they touch? Because they have 9 DNA series, while the rest of the world has only 6. This is why they copyrighted this. And you'll notice outside of this, now this map is taken, I took this map right from this page here. And I blew it up so that the world could see it. Even though this is copyrighted, I can't let you have this book because it's copyrighted. But when we broke it down and interviewed Dr. Kidd, the head, he's the chairman at Yale University. We broke it down into plain, everyday English so that the world would know.
Africans are the smartest people on the planet.
Is descended from those
kingdoms
people who gave to the world the great pyramid, gave to the world science, gave to the world mathematics.
Reading,
Black man named Ahmose gave algebra to the world 3,700 years ago. It's in the world books, it's in the encyclopedias. They don't want our children to know this, because then that would make the playing field level for white children.
Now, melanin is commonly associated with the color of your skin. And that's what gives your skin its color. We call that pigment, melanin. But it's also in your nervous system, which causes you to transmit information faster and to store more information than any other race. It's also in your bones, which cause you to retain more minerals than any other.
There's also a different kind of melanin.
And of course, is in your.
There's animal melanin, there's human melanin. Africans have human melanin. Everybody else has animal melanin.
They have what we call fast twitch reaction. You have a faster reaction time. And you have more vitamins and minerals in your muscles than any other race. Melanin is also in your eyes that cause you to absorb more color than any other race. And of course, is in your ears, and you absorb more sound. So you will see colors differently than anybody else, and you will hear differently. So therefore, your music will always be different. You always put together colors differently. Melanin is in your taste buds, which cause you to have the ability to taste the full flavor of the food. You absorb more taste. So you always combine your food differently, and you eat somebody else's food and say that's bland or whatever you want to say. You know what I'm saying. That's because they don't have the ability to taste the full flavor of food like you do. The melanin causes you to have this ability. It's what we call the biochemical marker of life. The more melanin you have, the more civilized you are. The more melanin you have, the more psychic you are. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying the more melanin you have, the more human you are. And that is what we're talking about. We're talking about how to understand this unique ability to be human, to be melanated, and how to sustain it. The problem with this melanin is that all drugs work by destroying melanin. It's not a drug unless it can destroy melanin in some way. It has to speed it up, slow it down, or destroy it. But they use different terms when they talk about melanin. They won't say melanin. They may say melatonin, which is made from melanin. Or they may say serotonin, which is made from melanin. These are hormones that are made from melanin. So you read in the literature, it says melatonin or serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Those are chemical terms to say it stops your body from using melatonin, which is made from melanin, which means it stops your body from using melanin. And we simply use these big old awkward terms, and we say melatonin reuptake or serotonin reuptake inhibitor. The problem with science is
now we know from DNA testing that pure Africans have 0 Neanderthal DNA. So
no
there must
monkey.
have been some deep European origins of the Neanderthal. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Whether it's deeply in Europe or sort of into the Near East is much debated. But yeah, it's outside of Africa. So, you know, humans and Neanderthals, of course, have a common ancestor about 600,000 years ago. Those two branches go their separate ways.
That's
Ours in Africa, theirs in the Near East and Europe. And at some point, they become what we would consider to be the Neanderthal gene pool. And when our branch comes back.
You're a Neanderthal. Ours in Africa. You're not in Africa. What are you talking about?
Back in and intersections them again, we have these matings and this admixture.
And so we are fertile with each other because we have the same common ancestor, even though
That's right.
many,
And it's
many
such a
years
recent one.
down
That's right.
from the line. And an interesting fact that I discovered in my own work for starting
Fashion tries because he's got a white wife. He's married to a cave beast. That's a lie. Don't got common ancestor. Because genetic, like he just told you, we can't have a common ancestor because we have 9 strands of genetic code and they have 6. So there's no common ancestor. That's a lie. And they know it, remember? And that's how I said, that's hidden. They hide that. So they got this moron to we got a common ancestor. We don't. We got neuromelon. They have pheomelon. Can't come down the sound of Dr. Africa. It can't come down the same biological tree. So we got some advanced shit going on with some gene splicing going on. Somebody was making shit up in a lab. That's what the evidence shows. So there's no common ancestor when I got 9 strands of genetic code and you have 6. That's a lie. Go ahead, John.
We grew up with the archetype of this stupid backward Neanderthal.
Yeah,
they're the ones that we.
Are their DNA series different? But the number of DNAs in there are different in different groups. Whites have a different number of DNA, and blacks have a different number of DNA series. Apes have a different number of DNA series.
So when you got different DNA series, you can't come down the same biological tree. Okay? That's a lie. Because you can't get, more from less. They came from us. How they got less genetic coding now? Huh? How they got baboon and fucking ape in them now? They want to say Neanderthal is a goddamn baboon. It's a fucking chimpanzee. That's what it is, a chimp. They want to show you a half-looking human. That's a lie. A goddamn Neanderthal is a Bigfoot. That's what Neanderthal is, a big. See, called propaganda in your mind to show you like a fucked up looking white man. You think that's a Neanderthal. Neanderthal is a Bigfoot, guys. A Bigfoot, an ape. In your mind, they got you draw things like some weird looking ass white man or caveman. A Neanderthal is a goddamn Bigfoot. Go ahead, Joby.
Then they found this amazing thing, that the greater the number of DNA series, the smarter the person, the group is, the greater the probability of genius within that group. So they tested the orangutans, these 15 geneticists from around the world. These geneticists came from 9 different universities. Now here are the names of these 15 geneticists from around the world. University of Japan, University of China, Yale University is the headquarters of this organization. What it said is this is the mind-blowing part. It said that when they tested the orangutan, they found out he only had 3 DNA series. When they tested the gorilla, they found that the gorilla has 4 DNA series, but he's a little smarter than the orangutan. They tested the chimpanzee, which is an ape, and found that he had 5 DNA series. They went all into the different races of the world. They went into Europe and tested the DNA series of the English, the French, the German, the Spanish, the Russians, and found they had 6 DNA
That's why you must keep African people in poverty and bad education, because naturally they're the smartest people. But they Africans don't even know that no more. You must keep them dominated with lies and hatred and all other kind of nonsense, so they won't gain back their greatness. That's why they constantly press. You got black people in Africa. Oh, the white man. Oh, white man. Got them throwing snot on them, spitting on them, smacking them in their head. Crazy. It's crazy. But along with that, a lot of Africans that you think of, they see that white man say, "Oh, the Bushmen, all these other Africans were the beginning." No, they're not. They don't involve. Those are created Negroes. They started creating Negroes before they created these other people. Those other races you see in Africa that are backward, those are created Negroes. Khoi, the San, the Bushmen, those are created Negroes. Go ahead, Joe.
This is what they found from around the world on a map. And this map really is called the intelligence map of the world because they tested 116 different human groups and found their DNA series number. All of them, all over the world, have 6. Then they came to Africa. But when they came to Africa, found out that the African people have 9 DNA series.
You can arrive at
the average African American genome is very distinct from the African genomes from which they were taken. Now, you couple that with the fact that there is more genetic diversity within the African continent than in the rest of the world put together, which means that, on average, someone from Senegal is more different genetically to someone from Angola than either of those people are to anyone else on the rest of the planet. And that's just what the genetics says.
That's the beginning of everything.
I know this is quite a brain scrambling concept.
No, I'm with you.
But this is one of the problems with the earlier conversation about how we categorize people. We say black people, right? Because Linnaeus said black people, Homo sapiens Afa or Africanus. But actually, it's a completely incoherent biological category because of the amount of genetic diversity that exists in people from who are in Africa or from the African diasporas. So how this relates to the transatlantic slave trade means that you've got 2 people taken from maybe neighboring tribes or counties or whatever the equivalent is, or countries who are taken from their birthplace, put onto ships, mixed around, they live or die, they then traded around, forcibly mated potentially. We know from the genetics now that there is a lot of European DNA in the African American genome,
No, it's
and
not.
mostly it is from.
They would say it's a lot. No, it's not. It's a very small admix. It's a lot. No, it's not. About 10%, 5%. Then when you breed back the black, you breed it out. So no, it's not. Not a lot. But like I said, it's a lot. We got these FBA people. It's a lot of European genetics. No, it's not. No, it's not. Unless you can't. Go ahead, Joe.
Sorry, Jason says we have 9 strains of DNA. I have heard we're supposed to be having 24 strains because we are so ancient, and then some. But also Ricky Snow Karibu says if Atlantic is real and advanced civilization, how
Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead. Let's go. Go ahead.
How can Africa
Be the beginning.
how can Africa be the motherland? I think that's what he meant.
Okay, how can Africa be the motherland? Because they're saying that Atlantis was in West Africa, right below what they call modern day Morocco. You keep thinking about Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean. You keep getting mixed up. Atlantis was not in America. Okay, you understand this, Rick? Atlantis not in America. I told you. Most likely right beneath what they call Gibraltar. So they're thinking, I can't say was that, because all speculation. They're saying it's out there in where Morocco, south of Morocco, in the African desert, like in Mauritania. Mauritania, what they call, I think that's Mauritania, or that might be, put us up, Joby. Say, ask Google this real quick. Say images of where they say Atlantis is in Northwest Africa, because it was different. Like a lot of it was covered in water. They say that's and that's what the Africans are saying too. Not no Atlantic Ocean. Remember, Atlantic wasn't called the Atlantic Ocean. That's a new term. That was the Ethiopian Ocean. Yeah, right there. So where's that at? What is that? Yeah, that's it right there. Is that Morocco? Where's that at? Is that today called Morocco? Is that Mauritania? Where's that at? But it's in Western Africa. I can't remember what country say it's in there. That's where they say. That's why it's called the mother, because that's where Atlantis is supposed to be. Ricky, that's Atlantis. Mauritania, exactly. That's Africa. Land of the Moors. Okay, Africa. That's where it's supposed to be at. Everybody knows that there. That's that. That's it. Not in America. We listen to all these goofy niggas you've been listening to on YouTube or TikTok. We listen to all these clown ass niggas. It's called the motherland because Atlantis was in Africa, and that's what the commission said. It was in Africa, right there. That's where it's at. Not in the Atlantis Ocean, Atlantic Ocean that they call today. There was no Atlantic Ocean. That was the Ethiopian Ocean over just 400 years ago. They said Atlantis was there. Thoth was there. That's where they said Atlantis was built, in Africa. Okay? And they just flew over to what they call Kemet and reestablished themselves in Kemet. That's all. Well, that's what the Africans said it was at. Not the white man. It's an Atlantic Ocean by the Bahamas. No. Egyptian soldiers, the Kemetic soldiers right there. And that's where it seems to be. In West Africa. That's where they say it was at. That's why it's the motherland. My bad. I mean to debunk all the crazy people you listen to. It's in the Grand Canyon. Atlantis is in the Grand Canyon. And Egypt was here. That ain't the original name. The original name of Egypt is Tarseti. Kemet and Tarseti. They keep saying Egypt. Egypt was in the all these morons on TikTok and YouTube, all these crazy motherfuckers talk about that. We're indigenous American Indians, and we're also Kemet. We're also Egyptians. Are you a fucking American Indian? Or are you an Egyptian? It's like the most moronic, idiotic ass scholarship in the world. It's made up crazy shit. We're Egyptians and Indians.
There is a strange formation in the Sahara Desert. The city of Atlantis has been found in Africa. There is a strange formation in the Sahara Desert.
They've been told you that.
The Eye of the Sahara. It is virtually identical.
They've been told you that. That's been known. That's in the books. They said he's in Africa. They've been knew that. The Africans said that's where it was at. That's where it's at. Africans told you that's where it's at. That's where it's at. Yeah, in Africa, not in the Atlantis Ocean, by the Bahamas, all these morons. We are Indians and Egyptians. You're like retarded motherfuckers, boy. They say the Indians, they were Egyptians in America, and then they became Indians. And what? You can't even amalgamate the culture. The reason why you know that's the culture of Kemet, because you still see the culture in Africa today. That's why. You see it in South Africa, you see it in fucking goddamn Sudan, Kenya, Nigeria. The culture's still there. If you guys were the original Egyptians in America, where's the fucking culture at? Where are your thrones? You see it nowhere. The white man invaded Africa like he invaded America. Where's it at? It doesn't exist nowhere. All this crazy talk. Shit's absolutely crazy. And we know the totem comes from Africa, but we got totems in America. Came from Africa as a one world government before white people existed. But the idea that you think Egypt started in America is absolutely fucking crazy talk. That's why you don't see none of that culture existing. But you know where you see it at today? All throughout Africa. You ain't know it's even commissioned. I can go any tribe almost in Kenya, and I see ancient Kemet. Nigeria, ancient Kemet. Mali, ancient Kemet. South Africa, ancient Kemet. See it. And then the languages, the Bantu languages is what the Medu Neter is based on. That's why you got people in Africa today. Ain't got to do with no white man talking about I'm Champollion and I got the Rosetta Stone and I figured out the language. The language was always in Africa. So follow me, the Negroes in America on a wide basis speaking Medu Neter. Find that, since you are the original Egyptians too. Medu Neter still exists in Africa. Never went away. The Dogon kept speaking it. So since you say you're the original Egyptians, which no one called himself that, you morons say that because you didn't know the real names of Kemet. Kemet was never called Egypt. That's a new name. You morons didn't know that. We are the ancient Egyptians. We're no fucking place called Egypt, ever. Ever. So the white man got it and switched the name. That's his name. So you people never say you're ancient Tar City. We're ancient Egypt. Where's that at? That don't exist. Egypt was called Tar City. Where's that at? Oh, you guys will never know those words. We're the ancient Egypt in America started here. Oh, no. No, it didn't. All the evidence. I know you ain't been African. All the evidence shows you there. You know why? Because it's still there today. That's just so funny. Shit is still there today. No, you're not getting on my skin, Rick. That's the people, all these motherfucking crazy motherfuckers you listen to. You ain't under my skin. I find it fun to see more on TikTok making these crazy things. You know, ancient Egypt was in America, not Africa. Oh, here we go with this shit. We're the real ancient Egyptians, are you? Egyptians, black people never called themselves Egyptians. Ever. Never. Called themselves Tamari, Tar City. They said, we're Tamari. That's how you got Tamerica. Okay. Remember you got these more online? Yeah, Tamari is short for Tamerica. That's how we got America. Okay, goddamn. We be reaching this crazy shit. But anyway, no. The Kemetic priest told you it was where it's at. And now they're like, oh, we found it. They told you where it was at. They told you it was in Africa, out in the western part of Africa. They told you where Atlantis was at. That's where it's at. When you got the manuscripts, you went and looked, and that's what you see. It's there. They told you it was there in Africa. But they got white people talking, because they changed the name to the Atlantis Ocean. Oh, it was in Atlantis by Bermuda, and it sunk, and it's in the Atlantic Ocean. No, it ain't. Egyptians or the Comedians told you where it was at. Say it was in West Africa. That's what they said. That's where it's at. They told you. I told you. I'll go ahead, Joby.
I don't know who's this, but it's a prominent Pan-African net. I don't know, netta. I don't know, I can't see it correctly. Uncovers and proudly celebrates his Shinnecock. I don't know, indigenous American Indian roots. And let me just share this. As you talk about
he can be Indian, that's cool, but don't talk about you in the East. A lot of these niggas talk about that, they also Egyptian. They're Egyptians and Indians. It's just crazy talk. Like they got both these people like are suffering some form of retardation. Go ahead.
Tragedy struck my family over this weekend. You know, I was dealing with some issues and pain and stuff like that. My mom's moved on to the realm of the ancestors last weekend. So that's what I was dealing with. And family from all over came out. Family came out from the South Carolina, North Carolina, just family, man. You know, and I was just dealing with a lot of stuff, trying to go live so that I won't think about it every time, you know, because you don't go live, you just be sitting here thinking about a lot of stuff. And so
is this Sarnetta? Remember, I can't tell. Hey, is this Sarnetta goofy ass guys? I can't. My phone. I'm on my phone, so I can't see how this guy. This ain't Sarnetta is, right?
Yeah.
This is the con man more. Let's see what this con man more I'm talking about. This dude ain't in America. This dude's from this dude's like from Dominican Republic or something. Okay, let's look what this con man got. Now this con man's not indigenous Indian too.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that I have a cousin who's a pastor, and I have
this is a Caribbean Negro here. He's from the Caribbean. He's a Candace Owens nigga. He's a Nicki Minaj nigga. Cosplaying us again. You're not an American Negro. You're a Caribbean Negro. Let's see what he got to say. I'm glad
he's a pastor. Who's all of that, you know? And as he was on the pulpit teaching, putting his sister, my mother, to rest, he started talking about the history. And I was blown away, man. He was talking about the history. And me and 10 Toes Down looked at each other and we couldn't believe it. We just looked at each other like, did he just say that? And 10 Toes Down was like, yes, he said that. And I was like, wow. So I said, I gotta interview Uncle Richard when he get off the podium, when we get outside. I got to do a quick short clip. I need to know more about this. So he started talking about my grandfather, his father, and my mother's father, their father. And he started talking about how they're from the Shinnecock tribe. And I was like, what? I was blown away. I couldn't believe I was listening to that. And so as
see, this is a new scam. See, remember all these Negroes, this is a new scam. Now everybody wants to be indigenous, all these different ideologies. And this nigga's a con man. Ain't it funny? Because now that Tariq is attacking James Small, James Small was his man. He's not even protecting James Small because this nigga's a coward. He thinks Tariq gonna put him in one of these goofy movies, right? So now this Negro's an Indian. This Negro's from Dominican Republic. He's from the Dominican. This is a Caribbean nigga. This is known. But now he's American indigenous Indian now, huh? All the way from the Caribbean. Oh, my grandmother said we're Chinook, whatever goofy tribe he naming that. You're from the Caribbean, dude. So your people Indians there, then came Indians in America? You're from the Caribbean, dude. See, this is the new hustle. See, they always opportunists making money off of, since the black community's been so dumbed down. Now nobody wants to be African now. They're now, well, no, you got a small minority online, and now they want to be Africans now. Now they're indigenous Indians. Everybody's an indigenous Indian. But that's it. They can't. None of the languages survive. I don't care how much you was colonized. Your language would have survived. Okay, how much they colonized you or enslaved you because you from this land. Somewhere along the line, your language, they colonized Africans. The language survived. Your language still would have survived. None of you niggas know none of your tribal languages, you supposedly tribes that you're from. Can't tell me none of your tribes. Everybody's a tribal nigga now. Fucking crazy. Then you tell me that the slave trade didn't even exist when it's well documented. I gotta listen to morons. Oh, that's just made up by the white man. You out your fucking mind. Niggas ain't even been past your corner store. Out your own damn state. Let alone your own city. Don't tell me the slave trade wasn't real. When it's documented from port to port. Names, dates. You out of your fucking mind? Western part of Africa was devastated. Hundreds of years of kidnapping. You out your fucking mind? I guess here's some moron come on goddamn YouTube or TikTok with a third grade education spouting bullshit because now he's an Indian. Craziest cat shit. Shit is well documented. Africans being taken out of Africa. What port? What price? All of New York was built off of slave labor. The port. Wall Street. Where they sold. If you were Indians, you would have been able to get away. If you were Indians, you would have known the land where you were at, and you would have been easily able to escape because you know the area. This is your land. You would have known the shit. Why would you stay enslaved? You would have said, fuck this is my land. The white man don't know the land as good as I do. It's my land. You just get off the plantation and run and be free. But the Africans didn't know the goddamn land. What are you talking about? Should be crazy as cat shit. Everybody over here was indigenous. You know, most Americans, we were indigenous. Okay, whatever. Slave trade is just made up. Yeah, how could you get a bunch of people on those boats? Same way they got a bunch of people on the boats when white people got their ass over here. That same sounds stupid as shit. How do white people get on boats and get their ass over here? They're not from here. All these white people get on boats and get their ass over here then. It wasn't no planes. How'd they get on boats and get their ass over here? This is not a white land. It is now. How'd they get here if they didn't get on boats? Oh, couldn't have got on boats. Well, you got the sharks. This is another fact. Were swimming a certain way because they were throwing Africans off the ships and they were eating Africans. So much so that you have a whole shark thing from America going back to Africa and Brazil. That's a fact. How'd that happen? Sharks just not know how to go there? But they go because they were dead bodies, or live bodies, being thrown off the ships. It's like arguing with retarded people. Talk about critical thinking. You're like arguing with retarded people. It's fucking crazy. Then you're gonna tell me I know my family come from Angola off my father's side. That's a fact. I know that. I know one of the first slaves. I think one of the first slaves that was in Plymouth Rock was an Angolan. It's a facts. Whether you was an Indian or not, I know one of the very first slaves that was with the Plymouth colony was an Angolan. That's a fact. Whether you like it or not, you fucking morons. He was an Indian pretending to be an Angolan. He didn't know he was Angolan. He was an Indian. They fucked his mind up and said, "Hey, you're not an Angolan. You're an Indian." You know, he didn't know he's from Angola. He had no idea. You can go look that up. Oh, the white man made up shit. That's a fact. One of the very first slaves that was in the Plymouth colony was an Angolan. A fact. Fact. Whether you like that or not. Totems comes out of Africa, not America going to Africa. Totems is an African tradition. Got to America, yeah, by some Africans who probably been over here. I'm not saying about no Africans over here because you had a global civilization. I'm not saying that. But not saying that everybody was a fucking Indian. No. That's fucking stupid. I'm not going, Go ahead.
Uncle Richard, can you say that again, what you said in there? And how come y'all never taught us this history?
Please. See, these are all fake men. And remember, this is a whole crackhead right here. This is a whole crackhead. This is a crackhead. So he just everything's made up. His channel's so bad now they didn't abandon his ass because he's done so many scams. So he's gonna get now he's not right on time, and now he's on an indigenous scam. He's done so many scams and no one pays attention to his ass no more, right? So now he's got to go on the indigenous. So this somehow he can scam some money out somebody. Go ahead, Joe.
See, what it is I'm gonna tell you like this, and I know it's not just me, but what it is that we all don't come together. Family don't really come together a lot. Some do. Only when things happen. Only when bad things may happen. That's when we all come out together. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I got up to the pulpit and I talked about that. When he said, "Do anybody have anything to say?" I got up and I spoke about that. And I talked about, I said, look at y'all. Look at the family, man. Our
now remember,
don't even know
remember, he's been on the Pan-African scam for the last 20 years. So now, that's dying out. And Tariq and them brought the Indian scam. He switched, now he's an Indian. I want you to see how this is. You mean 20 years ago he didn't talk to none of his family when he was on the Pan-African scam? Years he was on the Pan-African scam. Now, all of a sudden, 25 years now, he found out, oh, I'm an Indian. See how the fake this is? Now the nigga's an Indian. You didn't talk to none of your family in 25 years running the goddamn Pan-African hustle. Now you're an Indian. Go ahead. See how this works?
They don't even know they cousins. I said, this is sad that the only time we come together is when something like this happens. This is what brings us together. I said, we need to have some family reunions. We need to get that. We need to get our grandkids to know your grandkids.
His whole channel was red, black, and green. His whole channel was about red, black, and green. Whole channel was Pan-African. Red, black, and I told you he's a con man even when he was doing that shit. I think it's a con man. So his Pan-African shit didn't die off. Now he's got to come up with a new hustle. He's now indigenous Indian from Puerto Rico. Now, where's he from? Dominican. He's an American Indian by way of the Dominican island. Make it make sense. Go ahead, Joe.
No, they're cousins. They don't know each other. The only ones that know is just the older generation like me and my first cousins. But the second cousins in them scattered about. They don't know each other. They didn't know they was Indians like that. But I'm saying that's the only time we come together. And so he living in South Carolina for years. I haven't seen my uncle in I would say 15 or something years, or even more. Even more. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody have their own lives and they do what they do. But when he came down, this is one of my mother's favorite brothers.
Dude, they would have known. They would have known you were that. So 15 years, you've been doing that Pan-African shit for 25 years. It was, hey man, you're the Pan-African tip. We not Pan-African, we Indians. They would have told you that 15 years ago when you talked to them. See, you're lying. You're a goddamn lie.
Because of records lost or never kept, many people of African descent can own. Because of records lost or never kept.
One of the first treaties was the New York Treaty about 1516 that came in. That was one of the first treaties. But in every one of those treaties that they set up with the Indians, they put an inclusion in there saying this, that if you were to cooperate with us and be able to help us maintain the slavery system we set up in this country, you know, and we will reward you and compensate you. We'll give you clothing, we'll give you food, we'll give you weapons, you know, and we'll even call you civilized.
Exactly. They don't ever want. They don't want to say that half these no good. Supposedly they're now the Indians own black people. They don't ever want to tell you that part. Dr. Cloud Anderson's right. These no good dirty Indians made a pact with white people to own black people. So were you were you a black Indian own that? Because these were Africans they own. So were you another a black Indian own another black people? That what you're saying you are? Then you my motherfucking enemy. You my motherfucking enemy. Fuck is you talking about? If you own my people, you my motherfucking Indian. You fucked up ass Indian, black Indian or not. You my motherfucking Indian. Because you got to give reparations too, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Go ahead, Joe.
Slavery. Every treaty contained a clause to help Indians to shut down black folk. Slavery could never have existed in this country and been maintained without the full participation of the American tribes. That's why they started calling them civilized, Rock, because they began to say, you quit hunting in the woods and running wild and get yourself some land and get yourself some slaves. So Indians became slave hunters, slave traders, and in the final analysis, all civilized tribes, the Choctaw, Chickasaw, Cherokee, and Seminole Indians, they all fought with the South to maintain slavery.
How about that? But you got niggas out here they Choctaw. These all these morons on TV. I mean on TikTok. They Choctaw. I'm full Choctaw. My daddy was a Choctaw, and I'm a Chickasaw. I'm a Seminole. All that shit. You got motherfucking people on my people. You bitch ass nigga. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? See, that's how deranged and ideology destroyed black people are. They'll even side with the enemy to pretend they're in the cosplay the enemy just to say they're not African. Well, your cosplaying as ancestors own my people. So you're an enemy of me. So when they were wiping your ass out, so when the Buffalo Soldiers, who the Indians talk about, they hate, right? Those are my heroes. And when the Buffalo Soldiers were wiping your ass out, I love it. Love wiping out you Indian niggas. When the Buffalo Soldiers are wiping you fucking Indians out, I'm with it. I'm with it. Do me a favor, Joe, real quick. Okay. Go to YouTube and say images of the Buffalo Soldiers. These are my heroes when they were wiping you Indian niggas out. These are my heroes.
YouTube or Google? Google, right?
Google, yeah, Google. Let's go to Google. Say Buffalo, say images of the Buffalo Soldiers. So when the Buffalo Soldiers are wiping you niggas out, those are my heroes. Because the real Indians don't like them. Nobody don't like them. They were burning their ass up, burning down their crops and fucking them up and freeing black slaves. Those are my heroes. So if you niggas are Choctaw, Cherokee, and all that old fuck shit you're talking about, when the Buffalo Soldiers came to knock on their fucking door, I'm with it. Those are my heroes, Joe be showing right there. Those are my folks. They knew they wasn't no fucking Indians. And they went to knock Indians in the goddamn mouth. And they did it. So those are my heroes. So Buffalo Soldiers came in to knock your fucking people in the mouth. How about you niggas don't never talk? Ain't fun of these indigenous niggas never talk about the Buffalo Soldiers. None of you indigenous niggas talk about the Buffalo Soldiers. Never. You're indigenous, you're Indian. Okay, cool. They never talk about the Buffalo Soldiers. What the Buffalo Soldiers had to do? They had to go knock your motherfucking ancestors in the mouth. And that's what they did.
Good. Led to going back to the earlier question you asked me about reparations. And even after the Civil War ended, the Choctaw and Chickasaw were still holding about 12 or 15,000
still holding slaves. They want to let them go. And who had exactly? Choctaw, Chickasaw. All you niggas on TikTok saying you're Choctaw. I'm Chickasaw. And the Buffalo Soldiers had to go in after slavery was over and knock you in your motherfucking mouth. And I love it. I love it. Talking about you, Chickasaw. I'm Chickasaw. I don't care if you goddamn Boxer knocked in the fucking head.
The United States government sent in troops saying you got to get rid of this slavery and set black folk free. And they set up what's called the
Buffalo Soldiers
1866 Indian treaties with these 5 civilized tribes, which says that black people in this country must not only turn them loose, they must get benefits. They must get forms of reparations. Going back to your earlier question, you must first of all set them free. 2, you must give them an option, and this is for all black freedmen and all black who live in the Indian territory and all black Indians. You must set them free, allow them to have membership in the tribe. You must give them, let them have access to all the resources on the reservation. You must let them also be tax exempt. You must let them have free education. You must also let them be able to give them $150 in cash. You must give them 160 acres of land. And in present day times, those black Indians under the 1866 treaty should be getting, they could also hold gambling casinos. Now, this country has never carried out the full mandates, but yet we're still honoring it for Indians. Right now, all the benefits that Indians are getting in this country are getting it from the 1866 Indian Treaty, because they took up arms against the United States in the Civil War. They wiped out all previous treaties. Now, every year in the White House, we get about 567 white Indian chiefs, which in history they call $5 Indians, because 90% of the people call themselves Indians nowadays are not really Indians. Those are whites passing it. Exactly, those white people. To the Dawes Commission to get their name on the Dawes roll so they can get all these advantages. But every year they get invited to the White House, and every year they got an approximate $3.5 billion every year, even that Obama's been in office. They got money on the.
Because of records lost or never kept, many people of African descent can
stop trying to Africanize my people. We are not African. We are not descendants of African.
What are you?
Do a DNA test.
Exactly. They will never do the DNA is the white man's evil. Because the DNA test always takes them right back to Africa. See, these are morons because they hate being Africans, because Africans have been impoverished, have been beat up, have been destroyed, and so the Africans don't get any respect. So who wants to be an African, right? So since they don't know any history of Africa, any self-respect about it, you see Africans getting beat up in fucking Dubai, getting fucked up in Kenya. Who wants to be that? Yeah, I ain't no African. You see them Africans, they get all fucked up and beat, they impoverished. Who wants to be that? Because they don't have any self-respect or any sense of history. So no one wants to be part of the losing team. Africa's been the losing team for 500 years. Nobody wants to be on the losing team. So that's when you get all this derangement syndrome happening. I'm trying to Africanize my people. Sitting up there with cornrows and all kind of braids and shit in his head. I'm trying to Africanize my people. Your hairstyle's African, nigga. What are you talking about?
These DNA tests for ethnicity are entertainment value only.
William Gilliland is a biology professor at DePaul. He says DNA kits can be great for connecting family members and finding relatives, but the science for ethnicity testing isn't as concrete.
There's nothing that confident for ethnicity. There's no diagnostic nucleotide. You can say this person is from Europe, this person's from Africa.
God, I get you. You know, like people can't print their
words. Are you talking about ethnicity or race? See that's understand, guys. They know a lot of people don't understand the difference between ethnicity and race. Remember, ethnicity is your groupie tribe. Joe can say she's a Lou, and Cameron can say he's a Cam, but what the fuck? That's different ethnic groups. They're not different races. You're still the same race, African. So ethnicity has nothing to do with the test. We're not taking a goddamn test for ethnicity, taking a test for race. See, they want you to get caught up all in the weeds. I'm not going to tell you exactly what tribe. Ethnicity is a fake construct. They want to tell you race is fake. No, race is real. You know, you got the Mongolian race, the Caucasus race, and the African race. Right? These are real. That's not a fake construct. That's real. Because genetically, you're different. Biologically, you're different. So you want to say you're not all the same. But ethnically, that's just some made up shit. That's some made up shit. Motherfucker German. Yeah, I'm German. I'm British. No, both of you motherfuckers are German. Both of you white people are white and German. You can make up a fake ethnic group, say I'm British or I'm fucking German. But no, racially, you're Caucasian. So you're the same as a race. You're the fucking same. Ethnicity is fake. That's some shit people had arguments about, and then went their separate ways and made it like France and England. They're the same motherfucking people. We say, no, I'm French. I speak a different language in the English. Or the African speaks. I'm Europe. I speak a different language than the Lua. Motherfucker, you're the same race. Your ethnic shit is fake. That's some shit you made up. That's some beef your ass got going back and forth. That's fake. Ethnicity is fake. Some shit. You had some beef. I'm this tribe and I'm that tribe. Or I went to this environment and you went to that environment. Racially, you're the same people. That's why you didn't want to take a genetic test. I don't even care about the genetic. I say go to goddamn haplogroup. What fuck? I don't want to know. I want to know what haplogroup are you? Are you original? Are you the original man and woman on this planet? I don't give a fuck what you call yourself. African, Native American. What haplogroup? Are you E1B1A? If you're not, you're a created thing. If you're not E1B1A, I don't care what the fuck you call yourself. You ain't E1, E1A. You got some strange admixture in that haplogroup. You got some spicing going on in your blood, in your genetics. Somebody put you together with a bunch of different animal parts. Have monkey, dog, rat, cat, bat, all kind of shit fucking around up in you. That's what I'm talking about. What's your haplogroup, nigga? You from E1B? Are you E1B1A? That's what I'm asking you. I don't give a fuck if you're Igbo, a Yoruba, a Lua, a Kakua. I don't give a shit about none of that shit. What's your haplogroup, nigga? Are you E1B1A? That's what I'm asking you. Go ahead, Shelby.
Let me go through the comments very quickly. I'm gonna be here for like 15 minutes more than I leave. I'm not really feeling well, so I'll
okay.
Early. I see Joe Mosquito says TikTok is just pure comedy. I just finished listening to Black Americans argue with Africans about eating meats, and telling Black Americans they eat raccoons too. And also Sanit, I remember the young pharaoh called him Sir Chada, I don't know, for calling him.
Sir Cheddar, because Sir Cheddar. That's right. Man, that's a long time ago, yeah. Because he's a con man, called him Sir Cheddar instead of Sir Cheddar.
Also, Jason says, and all the morons always say, where's the slave ships now? So see Jibajaba Karibu Sana says, I'm Indian, I belong to the Ebonics nation. That's what's up. Nice to see you, Jay.
How cheap Ebonics?
Joao Mosquito says they might as well be a Hebrew Israelite. And says you can't be a Hebrew Israelite without wearing that Buck Rogers outfit.
Yeah, Buck Rogers. I call it. You guys have kids. You guys are looking at what's that? I call it a Power Ranger. Everybody see that the TV cartoon with the kids, the Power Rangers? I call that shit a Power Ranger outfit.
And Jason says I can't stand them dark brown $5 straight hair pretend Indians, especially the blonde and blue eyes ones.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Ricky Snows, I spend a lot of years on the ocean. I want you to do a show on these slave ships. I believe Caucasian didn't know anything about the ocean, only those Moors. And
you want to say with the Africans complicit in helping the white man? Yeah, in the beginning, of course, white people were morons. Of course, they came out with most of the navigators on those ships, Africans. Yes, we would agree with that, because they would run away from being put in slaves themselves. So did they help the Europeans navigate into Africa, then over to the New World? Yes, you're correct. I can't lie about that, Rick. I can't say we didn't have traders. I can't say we didn't have sellouts. We had people that sold our own people out. They helped the European do things he was not capable of doing yet. Yes, I will agree with that. Go ahead, Joe.
Ricky says I was on 3 Navy ships and one submarine, and I want to know more. I want to know more about these slaves, ships, woods, width, length, how many deck where they keep food and water.
Of course, same way they kept food and water for the white people when they came over. Same shit, but not as many as in abundance, but enough because it's about profit. They wanted to keep that in mind, killing half the people, but they needed enough to make a profit. So, yeah, but go ahead, Jimmy.
Jibba Jabba says Africans created the sextant for sea navigation. That's what's up. And yeah, I'll be okay, Jibba Jabba. Thank you for your concern. I'll be fine. Nothing big. But anyway, as we get closer to winding up, yeah.
Y'all haven't always been here. Quit saying that nonsense. Y'all just sound weird.
Well, my grandma told me I was Cherokee.
Y'all really think grandmas know everything, huh?
But she won't lie to me, right?
Yeah, your grandma was self-hating.
Your grandchild, Cherokee.
Most of your grandma grew up in a time where they hated themselves. I hate to tell y'all that, right? You had a lot of internal hatred, and everybody was saying they was an Indian. Everybody black American, I got a little Indian. I'm an Indian, because your grandma was self-hating Negro. Sadly, sorry, that's the majority of them, and are mostly ignorant. I was an Indian. Everybody said no research, no substantiating, just saying shit. But go ahead, Joe.
Because we lost our identity, so we had to make up another one.
You have created a monster on TikTok. Now they won't stop telling folks they're Black, Indigenous, Aboriginal, American Indian chiefs and putting feathers by their username.
What have I done?
Who taught you that you weren't African? Who taught you that you were indigenous to this land? Who taught you that the phrase American Indian is different from the phrase Native American? Who taught you that you are a Black, Indigenous, Aboriginal American Indian? Your grandmother was born in 1852. She doesn't even know any of her 8 great-grandparents. So how can she tell you such nonsense?
I don't know. I just listened to what other pretendians say on TikTok. They said we've been here.
I live here pretending. This is going to I look at Malcolm X. I look at him pretending on TikTok.
Who taught you that you weren't African? Who taught you that you were indigenous to this land? Who taught you that the phrase American Indian is different from the phrase Native American? Who taught you that you are a Black, Indigenous, Aboriginal American Indian? Your grandmother was born in 1852. She doesn't even know any of her 8 great-grandparents. So how can she tell you such nonsense?
I don't know. I just listened to what other pretendians say on TikTok. They said we've been here.
Who taught you that you were a Blackfoot Indian?
Negro. I said they used to call me Blackfoot because I ain't never wear shoes, so my feet was black. Ain't no damn Indian.
So funny. Oh my god.
Oh my god. I got him used to wear shoes and my feet were black.
Who taught you that you were a Blackfoot Indian?
Negro. I said they used to call me Blackfoot because I ain't never wear shoes, so my feet was black. We ain't no damn Indians.
You got Negroes on TikTok saying they were black feet. With black feet Indian. Exactly. They're gonna use Malcolm X in the AI. It's funny. That's what we did. You're dealing with straight crazy. It's the worst on TikTok. It is crazy talk. It's like you got the most moronic, crazy, misinformed motherfuckers running around on TikTok. It's crazy. You get in there and they won't leave people alone. That's okay, you're an Indian, cool. Why do they always come over to the African section bothering people? The Black Americans. You ain't no Indian. You ain't no African. You an Indian like us. Okay, that's your shit. Stay in your lane. Stay in your shit. Nobody come over and bothering you. Saying you're not an Indian. Be a Blackfoot. Okay. But they always want to come bring their bullshit. And other Black Americans say, you ain't no African. You ain't that. You an Indian like me. Be Indian yourself. We're gonna let Joby go. Is that time of month, Joby?
You don't do that, please.
Okay, calm down.
Much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful day. See you guys tomorrow. Peace, love, and light.